The internet was still young, a digital Wild West. Back then, I spent my evenings in IRC chat rooms, finding solace in shared interests with strangers. That's how I met Willow. She was witty, intelligent, and shared my passion for classic films. We'd spend hours discussing everything from Bogart to Bergman. Our conversations were a highlight of my day. As weeks turned into months, our bond deepened. We exchanged emails, then phone calls. Her voice was soft, with a hint of a laugh, always ready to erupt. Willow seemed like someone I could be real friends with, someone I could trust. She talked about visiting my city sometime. I encouraged her, excited at the prospect of finally meeting my online confidant. Months later, Willow announced she had booked a trip. I was ecstatic. We planned out her itinerary, each activity carefully chosen to reflect our shared interests. I cleaned my apartment, bought her favorite snacks, and even picked out a quirky souvenir I knew she'd appreciate. The day she arrived, I waited at the airport, a giddy mix of nerves and excitement bubbling inside me. Then, she walked through the gate. My heart sank. It wasn't Willow, or at least, not the Willow I'd built in my mind. Standing before me was a woman who looked nothing like the photos she had shared. Older, heavier, her face hardened in a way that belied the gentle soul I had come to know online. Still, I pushed aside the unease, reminding myself that appearances could be deceiving. The next few days were a blur of forced smiles and mounting discomfort. Willow was nothing like her online persona. Gone was the wit and intelligence, replaced by a litany of complaints and demands. She apartment to my choice of restaurants. The easy banter we shared online was replaced by awkward silences and forced conversation. I found myself making excuses to avoid spending time with her. I'd invent errands, fake phone calls, anything to escape the suffocating reality of her presence. This wasn't friendship. It felt like a bait and switch, a cruel trick played by the fickle hand of the internet. As the days turned into a week, Willow's behavior escalated. She became increasingly possessive, demanding all my time and attention. She'd show up at my work unannounced, berating my colleagues for keeping me from her. My phone pinged constantly with angry texts and missed calls. My life, once ordered and peaceful, was spiraling into chaos. I was exhausted, emotionally drained, and terrified of what she might do next. The happy anticipation of her visit felt like a distant memory, replaced by a chilling fear of what the next hour might bring. I knew I had to do something, but I was paralyzed by indecision. How could I extricate myself from this situation without causing a scene? I confided in a close friend, pouring out the whole disastrous story. He listened patiently, then offered a solution. He would pretend to be my boss, calling with a work emergency that required me to leave town immediately. It was a desperate plan, but I was out of options. The plan worked, albeit not without drama. Willow was furious, accusing me of abandoning her, but I was firm, my voice shaking as I insisted on leaving. As I watched her taxi disappear down the street, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. The nightmare was finally over. The experience left me emotionally drained. My trust was shattered, not just in Willow, but in my own judgment. I had ignored the red flags, blinded by my desire for connection. It was a painful lesson, but a valuable one. I learned to be more cautious online, to trust my instincts, and to never again ignore the warning signs. I also learned the importance of strong boundaries and the power of saying no. Life has been good since then. I am more discerning about online interactions, valuing quality over quantity. The experience, though painful, ultimately made me wiser and more resilient. It was a reminder that even in the digital age, human connection is a delicate dance, one best approached with both open hearts and wary eyes.